America's military involvement in Libya, it's pitting President Obama against some members of Congress and has even led to a lawsuit. Our legal guys are back, Avery Friedman in Cleveland and Richard Herman in Las Vegas. All right, gentlemen, this is a very interesting situation and maybe a little awkward, too, because the president is playing golf today with House Speaker John Boehner, and Boehner is among those who were saying that he wants to challenge the president, that the president should have gotten congressional approval before launching any military involvement into Libya. So is he right? Are those who say that right, Avery? That the president should have gotten congressional approval?
It's less than 2% in Congress that filed the lawsuit, although most of the Republicans are saying that. But the bottom line on this thing is the definition of hostilities. Congress left it vague. It's assigned to Judge Reggie Walton. Remember him? He did the Scooter Libby case. In the history of American law, no federal judge has ever resolved this kind of dispute between Congress and the president. Bottom line, the case will be thrown out.
Oh, really? Be thrown out altogether? And
yep.
So, Richard, do you see it this way? I mean, the president was a former constitutional law professor, and he knows constitutionality. At least that's the thinking, right? And that he felt like he didn't even want to take on the advice of the Pentagon lawyers who said you need to get congressional approval.
Good.
He and White House lawyers said, no, you don't need to do this because, A, this is not a war. Is that a solid argument?
Avery, I have to agree with Avery. He's right on the money on this one. The definition of hostilities, is it ongoing? Do we have boots on the ground? Are we sustaining casualties?
Right.
That does not apply in this particular case. And Avery is right. This federal judge is going to dismiss it under the theory that Congress has the ability to correct this. They have the ability to stop funding for this type of situation, or they have the ability to seek impeachment of the president. And the courts have historically, and again now, will not touch this. Clinton with Kosovo was the most recent case. It's absolutely going to get thrown out, Fred.
Oh, interesting. All right, let's move on to another case and see if it really becomes one. This is so bizarre. This involves a kindergartner and a teacher, and the allegation is this 5-year-old touched the teacher inappropriately, touching the teacher's thigh. This, Avery, after the teacher said that she had a thigh injury and saying this to a number of kids, and I guess instinctively this 5-year-old touched her leg. Got expelled permanently.
Instinctively.
Yeah.
So now what?
I mean, this is the...
And the kid's now in a private school, but, you know,
yeah,
was this
well,
right?
but it's still this wacky zero tolerance, which is really zany tolerance or zero intelligence. I mean, the fact is it's a 5-6-year-old. She was complaining about her leg. He touches the leg. Yeah, and you know, not only did they throw him out, but with a straight face, the lawyers for the First Philadelphia School for Literacy, not the First Philadelphia School for Common Sense, different school, decided, yeah, we got to expel this kid. The judge, frankly, did the right thing, saying schools have broad discretion, but in this case, the school abused its discretion. The expulsion is thrown out sort of moot because he's now in a different school, but the judge has ordered it to mediation to try to get the case settled. Interesting,
because now the kid is in a private school, and you have to wonder, Richard, will parents say, you know what, this has cost us a lot, not only just anguish, but now we're paying for private school as a result of being kicked out. So when this mediation is involved, is there some restitution that will be demanded?
You know, Fred, your legal knowledge just always comes up in these things. I tell you.
That's right. She's a professor.
That's a great argument, and that's a great line, and I would definitely be pursuing that if I was advising the parents of this young boy. But this is the city of brotherly love. Where's all the love? I don't know. The kid tried to help the teacher.
No love.
He's 5 years old.
Aww.
5 years old.
But
you know, Fred, the problem here is... Yeah, the kid had a history of acting up in the class and apparently touched another student inappropriately one time. So this was an opportunity for the school board to get rid of this kid.
Yeah.
And that was really transparent. So
they said there was precedence.
I think that there could be monetary damages.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. And then, you know, I know you all have been watching this for a very long time. We've been talking about it for years because there was one trial and now we're into... There you go with the head, Richard. Rod Blagojevich. If it ends up going to the jury or if they have a decision next week. Okay, so real quickly, Richard, your call on this, acquittal or guilty on all counts? Hung jury
again, Fred. Someone on that jury likes him, and they're not going to change.
Interesting. Avery?
Theory, it's 11 out of 12 women, and they're thinking acquittal or hung jury. I'm saying conviction. Let's see what happens next week.
Wow, let's see what happens. This was a very
Yep.
costly affair
Yep.
to have one trial
That's
and then
for
yet
sure.
pursue it for a second. So I'm sure the prosecution wants, I don't know,
That's right.
wants some bang
That's
for their
right.
buck on all this. We will see. All right.
gonna
Keep our eye on this Casey Anthony
That's-
case. 'cause
that's
the
And
exactly
that
fireworks
too, of course,
coming
we're
on
going to
next
continue to
week.
watch that as the case continues today until
Right.
about 1 or 2 o'clock. All right, thanks so much.
Right.
Avery, Richard,
Good to
always
have
good
you
to
back.
see you. Thank you so much. Great to be back. Good to
Thank
see
you,
you.
Fred.
Wonderful.
All
Great
right, see you
seeing
next
you.
weekend. Appreciate it.